Morning. It's Tuesday, March 1st. March 1st, 2022. How'd we get here? In any event, mask mandates are ending all around us. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut have all said their mask mandates are ending sometime early in this month. And control of the masking is being turned over to local organizations like school boards or counties, so whatever it is. And there's certain mask mandates that are going to remain in effect, but not many. Not many mask mandates are. And that's a good thing, because we are starting the third year of the pandemic. And whoever thought that it would be lasting this long and be so cyclical with all of the different variations that have attacked us, from the basic COVID-19 through Delta and Omicron and BA12 and all of those different things. Anyhow, it's over, not over, but it seems to be relaxing a little bit, and so the mandates are coming off. And that's all I want to say about that, but I want to talk a little bit about the baseball meetings, which I think are ridiculous. I think the whole thing with baseball is ridiculous. I remember going to Yankee Stadium as a kid and with a quarter in my pocket and sitting in the bleachers for the whole doubleheader and all of that. But I don't want to bring that up. What happened with baseball is crazy. Well, it's a couple $100 to go to a baseball game now. And that's ridiculous. And the players make tons and tons of money. And this season is way too long. Who needs a 162-game season? Who needs that? I mean, 140 games, 130 games would be plenty. There's plenty of games. But it's all about the money. The owners make money, the players make money, the fans pay. And I don't know why the fans pay. The games are way too long. 3.5 hours to watch a baseball game. So in any event, that's still going on, and I'm not happy about that. Let them settle their business and get on with it. We don't need to hear about them, that they're meeting for the 7th day in a row. We don't need to hear anything about it. It's not important. There are many more important things to talk about than the baseball season. And meanwhile, in New York, we got a crummy baseball season, a crummy hockey season, a crummy basketball season. What else is crummy about the seasons? The sport teams in New York think. The football teams, who knows what's going to happen with them. But at least it's a short season, 17 games, it's over. 3.5 months, the season is over. Baseball, they got to have a season that starts with spring training and it ends in November. Too long, too much, not exciting enough. I'm still a Yankee fan, though. I'm not giving that up so easy. On the Ukraine front, Governor Hochul has signed an executive order on Sunday forbidding her state from doing business with Russia and canceling all its investments there. The governor also said New York will welcome Ukrainian refugees in response to Russia's invasion. She said this at a press conference in Albany, that her state is home to the largest U.S. population of Ukrainians in the United States. She also pointed out, without getting into any great detail, but pointed out that the New York economy is larger than Russia's total economy. Now that's saying something. I mean, Russia's got, I don't know how many millions of people there, but we have 8 or 10 million people in New York, maybe 12 million, whatever the number is, but our economy is larger than Russia's. That tells you how powerful the economy of New York is worldwide. Meanwhile, the fighting in Ukraine has gone on, and the Ukrainians are holding their own. In fact, doing better than holding their own. And the Ukrainian delegation has gone to the border of Belarus to hold talks with Russian officials. And the central bank in Russia more than doubled its key interest rates on Monday. That's a problem for Russians. So these sanctions are working, even though, in my opinion, we haven't sanctioned the oil and gas industry. We haven't tried to cripple that. And part of that is because we worry in some way, shape, or form of the effect on oil and gas that's produced in Russia on the rest of the world. But you know what? I still hold out for that sanction. I can't wait till we sanction oil and gas. Maybe the Russians realize that that's coming, and maybe that's why they're willing to meet in Belarus with the Ukrainians. But I don't know what the Russian delegation is able to do, because Putin is a one-man gang, and he does whatever he wants, apparently, in that part of the world. And so this delegation, I hope they could stop this war, but I don't know. But it's going on, and the Ukrainians are hanging in there, and that's a great thing. That just shows that there are people who will get out in the street and fight for their country. Ukraine, in my mind, is a good example for the U.S. This is a country that is standing together, right? Maybe that's because they don't have two political parties. They must be running a different type of democracy that got the people together to fight together on the streets and hold off 150,000 heavily armed troops. I don't think the Russian troops were prepared for this. They were not prepared for an opposition that was going to stand up to them. Because I probably looked at there and say, what can these little people do? We're a nation of 150 million, 200 million. They got 40 million people. We ought to be able to run over them. It hasn't happened that way. It hasn't happened that way, and it's a good thing for the world to see. I mean, they had a resolution at the UN. 89 nations voted on this resolution. They voted for it, and Russia has one vote, but a veto, and that UN resolution went down the tubes. So let's hope that this meeting in Belarus turns out to be something good, and I don't know how it can be good, because I think Putin is a man on a mission. He wants to recreate the Soviet Union, and that's what he's really trying to do here, and it doesn't matter what he says or anything like that, because that is clearly his objective. And we, on the other hand, can't change his mind, because we have no leverage over him, no real leverage. I mean, we could take away everything, but that would be hard to do. So, I don't know. It's going. The sanctions are getting larger, supposedly. In fact, I heard that the oligarchs who own apartments in New York, those apartments are going to be sanctioned. These oligarchs are so wealthy, they own apartments and yachts all over the world. In London is doing the same thing. England is doing the same thing, sanctioning these oligarchs who have apartments and property in their country. So that's about it for today, and I hope something good happens, and I hope the baseball talks end, and I hope the season is shortened. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.